It's not bad. I'm always sceptical because it's the NDIS produce it. You know, they're not going to show you the bad stuff, they're only going to show you the good stuff. But in saying that, I mean, we have talked to families who have gone through the process and are very happy. So it does reflect pretty much what's going on. When they talk about the way they talk about the planning, I guess. So this getting plan ready form here, it pretty much is a snapshot of your life now. So they want to know about you know, what's going on in your life, who you live with, the days you need support, all that sort of stuff. But before you get to this sort of page here on goals, so they want to know about what your goals are, you need to have a think about all these sorts of things. So what are your goals in daily life? You know, what are the things that you want to be able to do on a daily basis? Identify what your barriers are. Okay, so you need to think through all those things. What about where I'm currently living? Do I want to stay where I am? Is where I'm living suitable? Do I need to have modifications to the home done? What about relationships? Okay, so you're talking about friendships, you know, partners. You know, what's happening in your week, and that can be supported. Health and well-being, so fitness, OTs, physios, all that sort of stuff. Did you want to go maybe do a course at university? You know, do you want to go back to uni? Are you trying to find a job? Are you currently working but need support in that job? Okay, so these are all the goals you want to think about. I talked to a couple the other day. Both have disabilities, and their goal was to be supported as a couple. That's a really abstract goal, but there's lots of things that can be done as part of that over the years. Okay, so your goals can be quite abstract and long term, or they can be very specific and short term. It's really up to you, you know. They're not going to tell you what goals you can have. Your goal could be to remain independent living. It could be to become independent living in your own home or sharing a home with someone else. So that's sorts of things to think about. And then that choice and control over my life, that's a big part of it as well. But down the bottom there's those 4 boxes. All of your goals generally should go back to those naturally, but this is their language. Okay, the NDIA talk about these this way. So if you look at the NDIS as a house, this is the 4 cornerstones. Okay, so firstly they want to build capacity wherever they can. That's getting new skills, you know, improving the capabilities of a person with disability. Economic participation is just work. It's just a fancy name for work. Use their language when you're talking to the planner. So when you're talking to the NDIS, learn those terms, and when you come up with a goal, say, well, this will help me with my economic participation. You're using their language. If you use their language, it makes it much easier for them to tick that box. They know that you know what you're talking about. Social participation, that's anything from going out to dinner, going to the movies, going out to a football game, anything like that. Okay, that's anything that gets the person with a disability out in the house and the community. Okay, whatever support's required to achieve that. And the last one, independence. Independence is huge. Okay, independence is for some people to get from one end of the house to the other. For other people, it's to go to the shopping centre unassisted by themselves to get their groceries. For others, it's to live in their own home. Okay, so independence is a massive part of it. So any of your goals, if you can link them back to one or more of those, you've got a good chance of getting it put into your plan. And when we're talking about goals, a lot of what we're talking about are the things that you can do, the things that you want to do. Okay, not the things that you can't do. So I want to be really clear about that. You don't need to create a goal around things that, because of the nature of your disability, you're always going to need support for. You know, like, you know, talk to people with spinal injuries, and it's like personal care, catheterisation, all that sort of stuff. You don't need to create a goal around that. You'll talk to the planner about the things that you can't do because of your disability. You know, transportation, again, that's something that you don't need to create a goal around. My goal is to have transport. I'm in a chair, I need transport. Okay? So that's a core support need, and you'll have that across your entire life. Okay? When we're talking about goals, it's what do you want to do? What have you never had the opportunity to do? What do you need support to do? You've got barriers that are in the way. How can the NDIS help to remove those barriers? Does that make sense? So this one here, and this is part of this, I'm going through this document now. This is about the 3rd version we've seen of this. I've tried to make it easier each time. But this here, and and it's up on the screen, it goes by the days of the week. So all they're really trying to find out here is they're trying to find out if you've got things that you want to do, like participation out in the community, what days are they? Are they after hours? Are you going to watch the Broncos play on a Saturday night? Well, if you need a support person to come with you, if a family member can't go and you need a support worker to help you with the chair, then it's a different rate.